I am Prakhar Maheshwari, a third year student from the Electrical Department of IIT Kanpur. I am a member of the software subsystem of the team AUV-ITK.
Hi, I'm Shubham Korde, a third year undergraduate from the Electrical Engineering Department of IIT Kanpur. I work in the software and the business subsystem of our team.
Hello there, I'm Shashank Katiyar, a third year student at IIT Kanpur of Department Biological Sciences and Bioengineering. I belong to the mechanical subsystem of the AUV ITK team. Team AUV ITK consists of four subsystems: mechanical, electrical, software, and business. Each subsystem is a cross-functional team of students majoring in various departments. Presently, the team has a total of 31 members with 10 in mechanical subsystem. Our prime objective is ideation, design, analysis, manufacturing, and testing of various components in the AOV. We start with brainstorming and try to come up with unique design ideas. We then try to analyze it from different perspectives. We move to designing the component in CAD softwares like SolidWorks and perform multiple simulations and motion studies to check its working. After the first draft of CAD has been designed, we move towards structural and fluid motion analysis on the components and try to optimize the design according to the results. After multiple iterations, we finalize our CAD and start the fabrication or the manufacturing processes. We have in-house 3D printing, computer numeric control machines, water jet cutting, and other manufacturing facilities. Our last AUV, Anahita, was a development on the vehicle before that, Varun. Unlike Varun, Anahita was a very well planned bot, and most of the aspects of manufacturing were kept in mind while designing it. However, to increase modularity, it had individual casings for different components, 7 in total. This property led to a lot of water leakage danger at the penetrator sides of individual hulls, and also poor accessibility of the components within. We have tried to improve upon these points in our new AUV this year. For this year's AUV, Tarang, mechanical and electrical subsystems worked together in hull design. This resulted in planned wiring, system modularity, and better accessibility. Some sensors like IMU, DVL, and cameras require special placement. Proper emphasis was given to them. This year, we are introducing a new AOV, our third, named Tarang. We have designed it keeping in mind the drawbacks of our previous vehicle, that is, accessibility and leakage. Thus, we will have a single watertight casing. In this section, we would primarily focus on those systems which are relevant to tasks we would be attempting. The rest we would explain briefly in the development and testing section. This time, we plan to have a single main hull containing all the components in our bot. There are multiple advantages of having a single main hull. Firstly, the problems associated with wires entering and leaving multiple hulls, like leakage, short-circuiting dangers, are avoided. In our last bot, Anahita, there were 7 casings, and that led to tremendous risk of water leakages, and we had to put in hours to ensure no leakage danger. Secondly, we can check leakage much easily in a single hull even before putting the bot in water by using a single pressure sensor in the main hull. In the last bot, this was not feasible as we would have to put 7 pressure sensors in the 7 casings. The supposedly possible disadvantages of having a single hull, namely high buoyancy and less accessibility, are overcome by the compact design and the large removable cap on the hull top. The hull is going to be made of carbon fiber because of the material's property of high strength to weight ratio. Thus, this time we have reduced around 10 kgs of weight from our previous bot without compromising on strength. The loss in weight will make the task easy of the thrusters. The hull cap will be attached to the remaining hull by the use of nitrile O-ring to prevent leakage. The base of the bot is made of aluminium. The components will be mounted on the base by using tight fit peg-like structures which keep the components in place. Also, aluminium is a good conductor of heat and we use this property to expel heat out of our bot. Our electrical components are in contact with the aluminium base which is exposed to water at the sides of camera casings. This way, the heat is expelled. The components are placed such that the center of mass lies symmetrically about the base and above the bottom camera casing, so that the camera feed need not be transformed. This time we have upgraded to IDS UI industrial cameras. One is located at the front of the bot while the other at the center of the base, looking vertically down and placed vertically below the center of gravity so that its feed need not be transformed. The camera casings have slots of exact size so that the cameras are held in place. The camera casings are also the sites at which the aluminum base is in contact with the water for heat dissipation. The cameras are strategically placed near the components concerning tasks involving camera view. The bottom camera is placed near the marker dropper and grabber, while the front camera is placed near the torpedo assembly. It is ensured in the design that the field of view of the cameras is not obstructed. We are using a servo-actuated marker dropper with two markers. It is located near the bottom camera to ensure easy transformation of the camera's feed to drop the markers accurately. Upon getting the trigger signal, the servo rotates, rotating the star-shaped obstructor and allowing the marker ball to drop. This is one of the easier tasks and we are confident in pulling it off. Thus, we have confidence rating of 5 out of 5 for this task. We are using a self-designed grabber operated by a servo motor. The motor rotates an arm which in turn moves the rod actuating the claws. Its 4 claws are designed to help in picking an object with high efficiency. Since picking a lid or bottle with a grabber will require immense precision and we haven't been able to test our grabber, we give confidence rating of 3 out of 5 to the grabber tasks. Our torpedo is also a self-designed component. It shoots by virtue of a pressurized gas chamber actuated by a solenoid valve. Because we haven't been able to test it in real, we give it a confidence rating of 4 out of 5. After designing the main hull and other components, we went on to further develop our bot. This involved thruster placement and placement of other electrical components. We have reduced the number of thrusters from 8 in previous bot to 6 in current. Lesser number of thrusters require lower cost and maintenance due to the carbon fiber design and thus the lower weight of new bot. There is no remarkable decrement in top speed and acceleration due to the lesser number of thrusters. We also performed rotary moment analysis to ensure thruster rotary moment sums up to 0. We also verified that all degrees of freedom are achievable by clever use of thrusters. We are using two 14.8 volt 18 ampere hour lithium ion batteries. The batteries are placed just beneath the main hull opening lid to ensure easy replacement. The IMU is placed at the axis of center of gravity of the main hull so that there is no need of transformation of its feed. It is placed away from the power distribution board or solenoids because of high sensitivity to magnetic fields. Like all other sensors, it is also kept at a certain height to protect from accidental water leakage. The Pathfinder DVL is located at the outside of the base of the hull near the bottom camera, thus near the axis of center of gravity. It is located such that there is minimal disturbance of water flow near it. In college, we would test our bot and components in real by making prototypes. However, due to COVID, we had to change our approach. We had to rely fully on softwares and performed various simulations and analysis on ANSYS and SolidWorks. We performed CFD analysis of the hull in ANSYS Fluent. We tried to ensure that the streamlines remained attached to the hull for as long as possible, resulting in more laminar flow and thus reduced drag. We performed structural analysis of the bot's base. The aim was to simulate deformation in the base due to the internal components so as to finalize the thickness of the aluminum base. The entire side of the hull was fixed and a load of 100 Newton was applied to the base, which is the expected total weight of the internal components. The maximum deformation was 0.015 millimeter. Also, we performed a structural analysis of our bot stand on which it will rest when not in water. The thickness of the stand was kept at 1.5 cm and the analysis showed a maximum deformation of just over 0.02 mm, which was satisfactory. Performed CFD analysis on the torpedo design in ANSYS Fluent and tried to ensure flow separation to be as late as possible for least drag.